Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's your friendly neighborhood PM here to give you your top 3 market points of the week. Now, the markets this week have been relatively subdued, which is a bit of a surprise given all the headlines. So, without further ado, let's just dive right into your top 3 points. Point number 3 was new home sales accelerating this past month. Now, new home sales, like I said, did come in greater than expectations, as new home builders did offer a plethora of incentives to entice home buyers despite high mortgage rates. I think the metric was something around 66% of new home builders were offering incentives to try to get offloading of this inventory that's been sitting on the market. Now, another interesting factoid for you there is that this is the 4th month in a row where a new home build is actually cheaper than buying an existing home. So if you're in the market for a new home, maybe look at a new build, save yourself some money at the current moment. At point number 2 is core PCE rising to 2.9% year over year. Now, prior month figure was 2.8%. Now, that doesn't sound like a large increase or anything like that, but you have to remember this is the Fed's preferred inflationary gauge to keep a look at. Now, we did see some pickup in services prices there, and that does breed the question once again of how are the president's tariffs going to make their way into the overall economy. So there's going to be a lot more data processing before the next Fed rate decision, but if we continue to see that upward trend, the potential for rate cuts may start to diminish. And then finally, point number 1, probably the one that everybody was looking towards, it was NVIDIA earnings. So NVIDIA did report their quarterly earnings, once again posting a very strong quarterly report, seeing revenues growing over 50% year over year. However, the market did not quite like that they offered a less than optimistic, not quite pessimistic, but more tepid outlook for their upcoming quarter, as they once again are excluding any sales to China for their semiconductors and their chips. Now, they have since kind of come to conversations with the administration about potentially either being able to sell their H20 models or their Blackwell chips to China, given a potential revenue sharing agreement with the US government, but nothing has been codified yet or in stone. But once again, AI, it continues to be the driver for NVIDIA, and they continue to be the leader in that space. However, once again, not as optimistic of an outlook as the market would have hoped, but right now shares are relatively unchanged ever since the report. Now that does it for your top 3 points this week. What are we checking out for next week? Well, next week it's going to be the labor market data. We're going to see non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate. We're going to be fixated on that because the Fed also is going to be very fixated on that, and that's going to help inform their decision come September. Now, that pretty much does it for this week's video. As always, if you have additional questions, please reach out to your financial advisor. If you do not have a financial advisor, follow our link below and we'll get you connected with somebody. But as always, please go out, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you the same time next week. Thanks again.